Hello guys, and welcome back to this interesting series as we compare my old system, the i5-8600K running a 1080 Ti card, with my brand new i9 10900K running a 3090. We are now in X-Plane 11 in probably the most demanding area that I know in this sim, having spent many hours. Thousands of hours, in fact. We're actually at Orbex, London City, with Orbex, True Earth, Great Britain, and my settings, I'll put them on the screen now. That is what I'm running across both systems with the same weather, same aircraft, everything. This is the Lancer Legacy by Airbus, one of the best GA sort of modern aircraft you can get for this sim, by the way. And yeah, we're just gonna literally take off. I've got Avitab there, and I can see the frame rate. In fact, is that a bit annoying because it's a bit too small? Let me make that bigger so you can see it. Excuse me, losing my voice. Right, plugins. In fact, yeah, we'll use Avitab, and so we can see our frame rate. Can you see that, guys? At the moment, anyway, we're getting 23 frames per second. That's actually pretty good for this area. We've got scattered cloud. I'm using a preset, which is going to be exactly the same for the next test. So we're going to take off and fly out of London. We're in the Quest 2, by the way. I'm using this headset primarily because it's actually harder on performance than my Reverb G2, although I'm going to be doing this all again in the Reverb G2 as well. Very interesting, this. And as you can see by the mirror image, I'm actually just using the X-Plane 11 sim. So it's not going to be the most prettiest video you've ever watched, but in terms of testing and analysing performance of both systems, I think it's going to be quite interesting. So we're now at 26 frames per second. That's pretty good, actually. Let's go outside and have a look. Very nice views there. As you can see, I'm using a horrendous livery on this aircraft, simply so that I remember which one it is. We're getting quite a lot of stutters here, actually. Wowzers, yeah, we're getting a few real bad stutters. Now we're okay again. We'll climb back in the cockpit. Big stutter there. So yeah, we're getting a lot of stutters, particularly when I use this controller. Wow. Another one there, and we're getting 20 frames per second inside the sim. And just to let you know, I'm using what's it called, the OVR, not the OVR tool, the other one, 3J FPS at sort of performance mode as well, so that the LOD is a little bit lower. But again, every single setting and every mod that I've got in X-Plane, I'll use exactly the same for the test on the new machine. Oh god, yeah, we're getting some really bad stutters now. It's just gone to the floor. Wowzers. Yeah, it says 20 frames per second, but I think we're getting some sort of issue with the link, because I've noticed my 1080 Ti card really does struggle with the link on the Quest 2, and sometimes it will bog down a bit, particularly in X-Plane. And oh god, this is awful. Oh god, right, hang on, let me just go back into the menu again, because that might help. Holy crap, and now it's locked. Oh, right, we're back again. Yeah, that was pretty bad. We're getting some pretty awful stutters. And then we're okay again for a minute. But even so, we're not budging off 20 frames per second, and say that gone to 23, but overall the performance and the experience isn't great. It is quite bad. So this is the worst case scenario, and I could put motion projection on with the OVR tool and lock it down really low, and that's great about the Oculus headsets. That's what I love about them the most, is the software side of things. But I've got to say, the display in this thing is very nice in the Quest 2. It's a really good all-rounder. But we'll be doing these tests again in the Reverb G2 in a separate video. But it's, you know, this is, I haven't really seen much of this on YouTube where, you know, particularly for VR users, because that's the big thing here. You know, you can run 4K all day long with the 3090 card, but what about VR? What's it like in VR? So there we are, guys. I think that's all we're going to do here in X-Plane. This is, as I say, a stress test. So this is the worst area that I can find, or one of them anyway, London, with the Orbex True Earth region. Overall, it's not, you know, it's kind of wavering, but we're getting a lot of stutters, and we're not getting any more than about 22 frames per second. That's all I've seen so far. Maximum is 22 frames per second. So we're now going to jump into the future, as we did in our last video, and we're going to run the 10900K with the 3090 in the same scenario. Let's see how we get on. You ready? In 3, 2, 1, go! So here we are, back in present day, I'm pleased to tell you, and the Uber machine has now got X-Plane 11 installed. We've got the same settings in the sim, the same aircraft, the same scenery here, Orbex London City, looking very nice, I've got to say. Exactly the same weather, True Earth Great Britain, same settings in the sim. Oh my goodness me. And of course, one thing I did mention, and that's the headset itself. The settings on this are actually 80 Hz and full native resolution as well, which I don't think I said in the first part of this video. Also, I've now got the frame rate in the left hand corner, and I can also see on Navitab, and we're getting about 40 to 42 frames per second at the moment, which is really interesting. So you can quite clearly see, even just sat here, that we're getting a good 50% increase, which interestingly was about the same as Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. And that 50% increase, honestly, that's a big deal, especially when you consider the consistency of those frames as well. But anyway, let's go for a bit of a flight like we did last time, and see how things feel. And oh my god, this feels very smooth, even if my flying isn't. My goodness me, dancing on the rudder pedals here, and we are airborne. Let's see how the frames cope now that we are in the air, and to see how consistent they are. Again, I'm really surprised that I'm getting such a massive jump in frame rate, and I do think a part of that is because of the system I had before. I was running a 10 series graphics card, the 1080 Ti, with an older Intel at 8600K, which is a really great CPU even today. But anyway, let's go and fly a bit crazy here to really test out the frame rate. Getting 45 frames per second at the moment, down to 40 again. Bearing in mind, guys, I am using the OBS recording software. That knocks off a good 7 frames per second, which is a shame, but just factor that into these tests, really. So, I mean, really, wherever I am in the X-Plane world now, I'm going to be hitting 45 frames per second, which is the magic number, really, for VR, to be honest. Flying like a madman here. Getting a few little dips to about 37, 38, back up to 40 again. That's absolutely extraordinary. And don't forget, it's not just the raw frame rate numbers, it's the consistency of those frames and the lack of stutters, the complete lack of kind of those, you know, little micro stutters that you get. I mean, really, you're never going to be flying like this, but I'm just trying to break the performance here. I did do this last time, and I mean, honestly, it's not just about the numbers. There's a few times in that other test I did where the sim would just basically, the only way I could do it is if I paused the sim. It did this. It was like that, and it would do this, and my head movement would go really weird, and then it'd be back again. I'm not getting anything like that here, quite clearly, as you can see. Let's go under the tower bridge here at 250 knots. Oh god, this is so much fun, guys. My goodness me. There we go. That's extraordinary. Right, I think that really completes this test. We're definitely getting a 50% increase in performance, very much like Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to try DCS next, where I'm not expecting to have hardly any performance impact, simply because that sim well, let's be honest, it still runs on coal. It needs an update to the graphics engine. But you know what, I've decided I am down to fly X-Plane all day today. I am definitely down to do this all day. But before I go, I'd just like to point out that the computer I'm using is actually a Stormforce PC, which was pre-built for me. I want to reiterate as well that Stormforce had no idea that I was looking at their computers, and I bought this with my own hard-earned money. Okay, that's important. Having said that, they have reached out to me, thrilled at the performance and, you know, my first impressions, to the point actually where they are going to offer some discount codes for my subscribers. So if you are looking for a new computer, stay tuned. I might have a good deal for you in the near future. So there we are. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. This is so much fun. Bye bye for now. Take care.